how much have you allowed yourself to get excited about a series against the Celtics? You guys have been kind of banging heads now pretty much your whole career, but to meet them in this kind of context, what comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty excited. And then we all had to watch Jacob Blake get shot yesterday. So that kind of changes the tone of things and puts things in perspective. So that's really kind of all that's been on my mind. And, coming down here, making a choice to play, was supposed to not be in vain, but it's just starting to feel like everything we're doing is just going through the motions and nothing's really changing. And here we are again with another, unfortunate incident. So my thoughts today are with that man and his family and trying to just wrap my mind around what they're going through today.
Fred, where were you when you saw the video, and like, how do you try to make sense of it?
I don't know. I would like to ask you, what do you think about it? Like, how do you make sense of it?
I think that those interactions are the product of a big pyramid of things that those interactions express, that are unavoidably factual. And then some of the moments, I kind of at the same time wonder if there's, I feel for everyone involved. That's about all I can say.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just at some point, like, we are the ones always with the microphones in our face. We're the ones always who have to make a stand. But, like, we're the oppressed ones, and the responsibility falls on us to make a change to stop being oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it boils down to. That's my point. I asked you the question, like, at what point do we not have to speak about it anymore? Like, are we gonna hold everybody accountable, or we're just gonna put the spotlight on Black people or Black athletes or entertainers and say, what are you doing? What are you contributing to your community? What are you putting on the line? And then us too, we got to take responsibility as well. Like, what are we willing to give up? Do we actually give a about what's going on, or is it just cool to wear, Black Lives Matter on the backdrop, or wear a T-shirt? Like, what does that really mean? Is it really doing anything? So, I don't have the answers for you today, but I think we're all. I'll speak for myself. I'm in a different place today, just emotionally speaking.
Fred, you guys, you're as attuned to these issues. You grew up in a town. I think you're pretty familiar with that part of the world. Some of the things that go down, and some in the Midwest, I guess, would be the way to put it. When you guys entered into this bubble, how did you weigh the potential of the visibility, which I think has been very high on this issue, and I think there's been an effort. I can speak for Toronto media. I think there's been an effort to kind of amplify a lot of your concerns, versus the fact that the change is inevitably going to be incremental, right? Like, there's no way that you could go into Orlando and think that an issue like this wouldn't arise again. The math just doesn't work that way. So how do you make peace with that? How do you get your mind around it? I know it's a tough question.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, we knew, coming here or not coming here wasn't going to stop anything. But I think ultimately, like, playing or not playing puts pressure on somebody. So, for example, this happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Would it be nice if in a perfect world, we all say we're not playing, and the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, that's going to trickle down if he steps up to the plate and puts pressure on, district attorney's office and state's attorneys and governors and politicians there to make real change and get some justice. Like, I know it's not that simple, but at the end of the day, if we're going to sit here and talk about making change, then, at some point we're going to have to put our nuts on the line and actually, put something up to lose rather than just money or visibility. Like, I'm just over the media aspect of it. It's sensationalized. You know, we talk about it every day. That's all we see, but it just feels like a big pacifier at this point to me.
At times over the last few months, while it may have felt or feel like some progress is being made, how disappointing is it to have something like this remind everyone that there's still so much work to be done?
To be honest, man, I mean, I've been sitting trying to think about what I was going to say to you guys and the way I go about this, but I'm frustrated, honestly. I'm disappointed. I mean, I have a wide range of emotions right now with everything that's going on in today's world and what we keep seeing over and over again. I'm pretty tired and sick to my stomach to have to sit up here and talk about this again and continue this long fight that we've been fighting since day one, you know, of slavery being brought over to America and having to fight for our rights and our freedom to live a life that is promised to everybody. And we constantly have to fight and see our lives being valued as so little. Feel for Jacob Blake and their family and their community and everybody that had to witness and go through that and see that. It's frustrating. Yeah, man, it's just very frustrating, and I'm tired of sitting up here and talking about Black Lives Matter and doing this, that, and the other, and trying to affect change. And you constantly see people in law enforcement. Some people, I'm not going to put that burden and say everybody in law enforcement, because I know there's good officers out there. I know great police officers and officers that want to affect change and believe in the movement and see that things need to happen and everything like that. But there are some officers in law enforcement that need to be held accountable for their actions, you know, and I'm tired of reading and seeing these incidences and then seeing these police officers getting put on administrative leave. Like go, okay, you kill somebody, go have a vacation and we'll figure out what really happened. Like for me, if you're in that position and have that badge, you're supposed to wear it with honor. You know, it's to protect and serve everybody, and you need to be held to a higher standard of the law since you're the one enforcing it. And the fact that you constantly see people with that uniform on getting away and being acquitted and not being charged with murder, when you see firsthand video of that happening, it's frustrating, you know, and we can't allow that, because if I took a gun and killed somebody, we're going to jail. We're not going back home and continuing on with our daily lives while they investigate what's going on in the crime scene. You're getting put in jail and being held accountable for your actions. And the same needs to go for those police officers involved, especially when you see blatant video. There shouldn't be a 30-day, 60-day investigation on what really happened in the incident. You see it firsthand. And that's what needs to change. You know, the police officers are involved in these incidences are not scared or fearing for themselves because they're being protected, and the taxpayers are paying for these administrative leaves, and it's unfair. And so they continue to walk around with no remorse and what they're doing and having their actions justified by people who don't really see the full picture of what's going on. And I'm tired of seeing that. So to sit up here and answer your question and everybody's questions about what's consistently going on until we put some pressure and force that stuff needs to be changed and start truly demanding for these laws and police reforms to take effect now, ain't nothing gonna change. I'm gonna sit up here and continue to waste my breath and talk to you guys about what I'm doing and trying to help make change. But it's on all of us to actually stand up and demand things and get in front of these people's faces that make the laws and have the power to fully affect change and force them to. And until that is done, ain't shit gonna change. I'm gonna sit up here and answer you guys' questions and continue to say Black Lives Matter and make effective change. But until we all who believe that and see that what's going on is ready to step up and lay it on the line to make real change and move towards real progress and take the ones that don't belong in that field out, we're going to keep seeing it over and over again.
How is the mood of the team after the emotional, raw kind of day of yesterday? How is everybody today?
I'd say okay, Doug. I wouldn't go further either direction. I think that, there's still issues on the table here that they're working through. But like I've been saying, we kind of take care of things in compartments, compartmentalize things, and we're okay. We're okay, Doug.
The players may be looking at making a monumental, historic decision if they decide not to play tomorrow. How do you sort of help them through the process of coming to whatever decision they come to?
Well, just the same, Doug. I think that we give them the platform to discuss it. They take their own initiative. They had a meeting last night. It is a player-led thing that I'm here to listen, help facilitate. If there is any leadership thoughts I can provide, I try to provide them, but mostly just listening and giving any guidance or thoughts or my own personal ideas or opinions as well. That's about it.
This might be an impossible question to answer, but you're there. Do you have an indication of how likely or unlikely this boycott is going to be? It sounds very serious, obviously, but what kind of indication are you getting down there?
I don't think I could probably put a percentage on it or anything, Mike. I think that, again, it's ongoing discussions. I think it is on the table. There's some other ideas on the table as well. I don't know. I guess it's kind of the way things are in the state of the world right now. You kind of gotta, prepare the best you can for what you think's going to happen in a day. And if something changes, you better be ready to switch course, right? It's been a strange year for that, but we're kind of the way we're living right now is you gotta take what comes and then try to do what you can about it and do the best you can with it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And if I can ask one question about the discussions that are going on, I think a lot of people are going to paint it as a binary thing, boycott versus no boycott. It's obviously more complicated than that. Can you, based on being on those discussions, can you speak to the thoughtfulness that is sort of going into it from everybody involved?
Yeah, well, I think that, Eric, I think that it gets to this point for a couple reasons, right? One is the players are deeply disappointed that the same thing happens again in a relatively short time frame, right? They want to be part of the solution. They want to help. They want justice. They want, this particular problem to be handled in a much better way. Okay, that's the first thing. Boycotting, the game has come up for them and as a way to, again, try to demand a little more action. And I think that's really what they want. I think there's enough. I think there's enough attention, Eric, and there's not quite enough action. And I think that's what I can sense from the discussion is their disappointments of, man, how can we get something to change, right? Like now we need something to change, not just attention on the problem. We need a plan of action. So I think that's about what I could share with you.